turn down is good. Ladies and gentlemen, ministers, dear young scientists, welcome, bienvenue, willkommen to the 52nd edition of the Young Scientist Contest.
It's such a pleasure to be sharing the stage with you, Sebastian. I feel very honored to be on stage with somebody else. It's a great pleasure to see you all here. And we've had 50 national teams from 25 different schools and universities. And welcome to all of the parents who've seen the work at home and at school to come and support our young scientists. And I must say, my own friends have asked me here, am I here in the capacity as a parent or a presenter? And I'm here in the capacity of both for once, because if I wasn't presenting, my daughters wouldn't let me anywhere near them. So it's a great pleasure.
So we welcome as well the partners, the sponsors, the friends of the Fondation Jeune Scientifique.
And also, of course, to our ministers here present. We've got Minister of Finance, Eureka Bacchus. We've also got Minister of Environment, Climate and Sustainable Development, Joël Velfring, and Madame Anne Calto, Luxembourgish representative of the European Commission. Welcome to you all. Now, a little bit about... A little bit about this organization. The Fondation Jeune Scientifique Luxembourg is a not-for-profit organization with public utility and the aim of supporting the next generation of scientists. And for a second time, the National Jonk Fuerscher Contest is no longer organized alongside the Expo Sciences Luxembourg to focus solely on the contestants here present today. But the Expo Sciences will be held in October this year and will bring together the participants of this national contest and our international laureates coming from all around the world. As some of you know, my name is Lisa, and it's a great honor to be present with you today. I really love everything to do with science. It's my own background, and today we're going to bring the new scientists of the future to the fore, all of their fantastic projects, and as mentioned before, it's a great honor to be here with you.
Thank you. And I'm Sebastian Wirth. I'm a member of the jury since now 5 years, and I thank you, Carlo, for this trust, and Serge, because it has been 2 fantastic journeys with the young scientists over there, so it's my turn to be on stage. I'm a little bit shaking up a little bit, you know. I have my notes, so that's okay. I won't go away. And yeah, I'm a mechanical engineer working for Polvert, and science has been always a passion for me. And I was really surprised by the generation that we have now today. It's incredible. So now it's my pleasure to call on stage Mr. Carlo Hansen, the president of the Young Scientific Foundation, which has been president for the last 15 years, and he dedicates all his passion to this contest, and I could see it, I could witness it in the past years. So a big round of applause for Carlo Hansen.
Minister, Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear young scientists, it is a great pleasure to welcome you at the award ceremony of the National Jonk Fuerscher Contest 2023. Thank you for your commitment, your interest, your encouragement. On behalf of the Foundation, I'd like to especially thank you, Minister Eureka Bacchus, Minister Joël Velfring, and the EU representative, Mrs. Anne Calto, for the interest you take in our young scientists and your commitment in the promotion of science and research. Thank you to all volunteers, to our jury members, and to all our sponsors. And when I wrote this speech, I didn't think it was Bretzelsonntag. And Bretzelsonntag is a tradition here in Luxembourg, and then you show to people that you respect and love by giving a bretzel that you really, ja, sie haben nicht Herz, auf Lützeburg gesagt. Und dafür für alle Volontären, für alle Leute, die die Jonk Fuerscher eng Hand uppacken, mein persönlich Britzel, die ich de Moje kaufe, für ich alle Götter. War doch nicht viel gesehen, das war der Moje, wie ich die Britzel kaufe. Die Dame, die mir Britzel gehen hat, die hat mich geguckt, weil ich nicht einen eng Britzel kaufe. Sorry, Simon. So sagte ich, nee, das alles ganz koscher, das an der Reihe. Du hast nicht da gezählt, aber ja, das für all die Leute, die Volontären, die heute müssen schaffen, auf einem Sonntag, die zwar gerne machen, das weiß ich auch. Also, Madame, die Fondation Jeune Scientifique, so dich hier, auch mein Töchter hat da mitgemacht. Also, so klang als Lützeburg. Und so dich mal, was möchte der Töchter dann noch? Was sie studiert Biochemie. Und das ist dann der Quibono von dem Ganzen. Opportunitäten liefern, Tieren abmachen. Und dafür werden wir auch nach den nächsten Jahren weiterführen mit ganz viel Begeisterung. My speech is in English so that our international guests can follow the ceremony. Mein Ursprung wird auch demnächst auf Lützeburg auf unserem Site www.fgsl.lu nutzulesen sein. This year, we celebrate the 52nd edition of the National Jonk Fuerscher Contest. For those who attend for the first time, the contest is open for all young people aged 11 to 21 attending school in Luxembourg. The specificity of the contest is that participants choose themselves the topic of their project, the experiment or the invention they want to realize. At Jonk Fuerscher, we want young people to think and reflect, to experiment, to explore, and to do things. Many young people don't yet know what career to pursue, what profession or craft to learn. As they discover and explore the options open to them, our objective is to offer them perspectives and opportunities, to help them discover their skills and encourage them to embrace a scientific career, to be an entrepreneur, or simply to choose a profession that speaks to them and which they will practice with passion. It is our ability to change the way we see the world which sets innovation free. So it is our duty to encourage young people to be curious, to think and to explore new ways. An open and curious mind paired with empathy for our fellow human beings is a way of changing the world. We sorely need people ready to rethink not only how to protect our natural resources, but also the way we do business, how we innovate and build a better future. In one of my former speeches, I quoted Winston Churchill and how he labeled the many memos that he wrote. One of the labels read, "Action this day." Dear Jonk Fuerscher, your action this day, or better, action this year, is to continue being curious, to continue to explore and to act. Do the projects you choose. Do not be scared to fail or proven wrong. Science is full of failure. Persist and work together with fellow young scientists you met today or those you will meet in autumn at our International Expo Science Luxembourg. Keep doing what you're doing and don't forget to report progress next year. Congratulations to all participants. Well done. We are proud of you. Thank you for your attention.
Every time I'm going on stage, I have a challenge, and this year Susanna asked me to introduce in Luxembourgisch. So, sorry for my accent. Das als een eer houdt ook kennis als Finanzminister, Madame Yuriko Bakkes, bij Hans concours te begrüßen.
Vielmals merci für die Invitation, Herr Hansen, und merci auch für Bretzel heute. Das ist schon ganz tentiert. Ich alle Guten dann noch einen ganz schönen Bretzel Sonntag. Live Jonk Fuerscher, I'm extremely excited to be with you today. I had the chance and really the honor to walk around earlier and to talk to some of you, unfortunately not to all of you yet, and I'm absolutely amazed and impressed. But I'm here today really because I'm convinced about the importance of young scientists and your absolute vital role in shaping our future. And to the parents here today, congratulations also, because you're the ones also supporting these young scientists, which is so important. For me as a minister, but also as a mother, I'm impressed here by the innovation that I see, by the creativity that I see. Personally, I'm fascinated with science, but I must admit that I never so much excelled in that field. But I think all of us, with our own means and capacities, try to do our contribution for a better world, to create a better world, to improve the future. I do it with my means. You, young scientists, you do it with your means, and you have found your own way. I am absolutely convinced that with science and technology, it will really play a very critical role. Because it has to be at the forefront of really creating and finding the solutions to the challenges, to the problems that we are facing. And I've seen so many things being addressed, challenges being addressed here today, from new disease treatments to sports, to space, to breast cancer, artificial intelligence, new disease treatments, so many things. Also, yes, the green transition. I can feel a lot of energy in that as well. Developing sustainable energy sources, and of course, I'm very happy to share the stage this afternoon with Joël Welfring, my esteemed colleague, Minister of Environment. So I think, as young scientists, you are facing, of course, a lot of challenges. I think we all face a lot of challenges in whichever job you are doing and whichever job you will be doing in the future. As young scientists, you may be wanting or needing more resources. As young scientists, you will be looking for more access to funding, more access to equipment, perhaps more access to mentors, people that can guide you. But I think with all these challenges, don't be deterred. Don't be discouraged. Really, I think you have made it so far, and some of you are still so young. It's so impressive. So don't be discouraged, really, to pursue a career and persist with a career in science. And focus on the opportunities, because there are such amazing opportunities. And of course, as government, but also as society as a whole, we have a responsibility to continue to support you as young scientists, to support you with the necessary resources that you need to be able to succeed, to continue also to invest in education, to invest in research, to invest in infrastructure, so that we can create the environment where you young people can thrive and develop your skills. And I think there also, as Minister of Finance, I have a very special responsibility for that as well. And also as a society to provide you with the mentorship and the career development opportunities that you need. One thing that is very important to me as well is diversity. I think also, in the science area, we need to have an inclusive environment. And when I look around here, seeing so many different nationalities, seeing girls and boys really, I think, pretty much equally represented here, when we know that on a world scale, research is, as far as I know, only 30% represented by women, or even less than 30%. In general, in Luxembourg, it seems to be the same statistic, at least that's the last statistics that I saw. So in a society where we are half men, half women, of course, when you only have 30% women in this field, this is not acceptable. So also there, we need to continue to support diversity, of course. Supporting girls and women is only one part of the diversity, but when I see what I saw earlier here on the stand, I really want to congratulate you, because I think at this level here, you have absolutely achieved that. So to conclude, I really want to express my gratitude to all the young scientists that are here today, working to make this world a better place with their absolutely fantastic ideas. And as a society, we must really do everything to support you. And as finance minister, I want to be your ally in that endeavor, and together we make a better world. Thank you very much.
The flowers. And now, herzlich welcome, Madame Joëlle Welfrink, Minister von Umwelt, Klima und nachhaltige Entwicklung.
Guten Mittag, dear Yuriko, honored guests, dear young researchers, and dear friends. It's a great pleasure to be here and say a few words on a topic that's played an important role in my life, formerly and also now, in my everyday work as a politician, and that is also close to my heart. To be among so many young researchers and their parents who enable this as well, I'm in the best companies they could imagine. But science can be, as we all know, a blessing, but it can also be a curse. So, as you know, scientific method and technological development brought about unbelievable and important discoveries, such as penicillin, electricity, or even the printing press, important steps for our society. But if it's not guided, all these developments are not guided by also critical life cycle thinking, it can also be the cause of environmental and health problems. An example that we all know is DDT, a pesticide that was designed to keep mosquitoes bearing illnesses such as malaria at bay, and it was sprayed widely and also caused birds to disappear and also illnesses in humans. This has been observed by scientists like Rachel Carson, that you may know. She was a biologist, and she noticed all this and started writing a book. It's called Silent Spring, that was published in '62, in the last century. And she, along with also development of instruments that they can detect compounds or dangerous compounds among mixes, brought about what we call today environmental science. So she really made a really huge step in our history of science as well. Another example that we know is our fridges. Fridges have been developed to keep food safe, of course, an important function. But the first fridges that have been brought to the market contained liquids, refrigerants, such as CFCs, chlorinated fluorocarbons, that they are so stable, they travel through atmosphere, reaching higher levels of atmosphere, start degrading, and they're causing to deplete the ozone layer, an important, let's say, shield, protecting us from dangerous UV radiation. And also science discovered also compounds that could replace them, that really were safe alternatives. So again, science also helped bring about solutions. Along with also what we call the Montreal Protocol, a protocol that was signed and agreed by among many countries in this world in 1987, and which also shows that to solve such worldwide problems, we also need to work in community. So we need to work together internationally. And this is also why my ministry, together with the organizers here today, are also working to develop an award It's called Climate Action and Sustainability Award, and that is that will bring also the winners of this year to the UN conference for climate that will be held in Dubai in December this year. So it's important also not only for the scientists to bring them there so they can visit, but it's also important for them to take part in the negotiations. And so we will give the scientists a media training so they will be able to bring their message to the negotiators, and it's important for these scientists to be heard among the negotiators because they have their say in this very important process. So I'm really glad to see them, and I will be honored also to give you this award later today. Like most of you, I was also a young scientist, and this really brought me about and also guided me over my life ever since. So doing what you do here today and what you did in the past months, the endeavor that you put in your work, and also the extra work that you do after school is important. It's important for our future, and I really thank you for that, and I would like to invite you to stay curious, to keep on exploring, and to keep on critical thinking, and also keep on connecting with each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Minister. It's quite funny being on stage when I have my daughters in the audience because I have a running commentary on what I'm mispronouncing in either French or Luxembourgish. So she's been kind about it, but I should probably turn my phone off because all of this message stream comes in from my daughter about my mispronunciation. But the next guest I can certainly introduce because we're in for a real treat. He's British, he's an amazing science communicator in a very, very unique way. And if any of you have the opportunity to speak with him, I highly encourage you to do so. It's John Chase. He's known internationally already. He's a freelance science communicator, author, and rapper, currently based in Cardiff, South Wales, but actually originally from London, and has been recently involved with and is ongoing studies in Leiden to develop a global science communication project. He has an intense passion for scientific thinking and believes that knowledge should be made available in ways that allow as many people as possible across the globe to gain access to it. He was identified by The Guardian in 2008 as education's next big thing after producing a science rap video for NASA about astrobiology. So please welcome to the stage our next amazing performer, John Chase.
Merci and muy bien. So I'm John Chase. I'm a science communicator. I've been a freelancer for 15 years, and I look at the practice of science communication and the research behind it. I am really passionate about this, and one of the things I do is write raps about science. Now, this first rap I'm going to do for you is called A Better View, and it's how science, technology, engineering, and maths gives us a better view of the universe, gives us a better view of Earth and life on Earth, and how it gives us a better view of ourselves. So I've done this for a group called the Science Photo Library. They produce wonderful images and videos for newspapers, television programs, and they said, hey, could you write a rap for us? And I was like, yeah. And this is that rap. Thank you. The universe is the oldest thing that we know. It started in a huge expansion many years ago. The heat was so intense that mostly filtering through the show. But everything was cooling as the space began to grow. Eventually, the particles cooled into atoms of hydrogen and helium, dispersing at random. Some of them gathered under gravity's attraction, becoming the stars of the galaxy's mansion. The number of inhabitants, numbers in the billions. Each star's size, mass, and temperature's different. Our star has a family we call a solar system, with planets and the moons and even rings going around them. The bigger outer planets are all mostly made of gas. There's asteroids, comets, and giant clouds of dust. The rocky planet Mars gets its color from rust, and it's half the size of Earth without the liquid on the crust. We left Earth's cradle, landed on the moon, put satellites in orbit of other worlds too, looking through the lenses to get a better view of the things that are distant or really minute. There's nanotechnology, robots en route, and silicon chips helping us to compute. As the world spins round and round and round through the days, the future is all up to you. Life in the universe, everything in cycles, days into seasons, years into lifetimes. Birth is the start point, death is at the end line, but everything decays as we move forward in time. Birth is the system that's always in motion, mixing up the elements and causing commotion. Volcanic lava flows caress the oceans with coastlines shaped by the force of erosion. The Earth's environment is perfect for life, containing all the elements we need to survive. Life thrives in the oceans, soars through the skies, whilst land-loving animals avoid eagle eyes. Many life forms disappeared through mass extinctions caused by an ice age or comet's collision. But for all of the survivors who are still in existence, their genes are a record of them traveling the distance. We left Earth's cradle, landed on the moon, put satellites in orbit of other worlds too, looking through the lenses to get a better view of the things that are distant or really minute. There's nanotechnology, robots en route, and silicon chips helping us to compute. As the world spins round and round and round through the days, the future is all up to you. The cleverest life form on Earth's humankind. Plot the rising population on a graph, see it climb. Our towns are illuminated, so are the skies. The familiar nights are brightened by the amber lights. Petroleum extracted by the work of nodding donkeys. But we should make use of more renewable energy. Electricity is vital to modern society. It's sent along the pylons and stored up in batteries. In the laboratories, where science is embedded, many different particles are scattered and deflected. Using MRI scans, your brain is detected. Or with a broken bone, your X-ray is recommended. We know that bacteria is the way we get infected, and how our inner bodies are so wonderfully connected. The bones and the muscles and the skin that surrounds it has given us the form that we all walk around in to leave Earth's cradle. Landed on the moon, putting satellites in orbit of other worlds too, looking through the lenses to get a better view of the things that are distant or really minute. There's nanotechnology, robots en route, and silicon chips helping us to compute. As the world spins round and round and round through the days, the future, it really is up to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, John Chase, for this wonderful, amazing artistic universe. Not only is he a singer, but he wrote some scientific books. So I advise you to have a Google on his name. He's a fantastic guy. I had the opportunity to talk to him a little bit before going on stage. It's amazing. Carlo told me it was amazing. He is amazing. So let's go back to some speaker. And in a minute, I will introduce on stage Sébastien Faye, which is in fact researcher in the field of wireless communication and more generally in computer science. The last few years, as you may know, we have witnessed a lot in digital transformation, which is maybe communication 5G, 6G, the next version, 7G, is coming out as well. We have digital twin, we have artificial intelligence, all this beautiful word that some are using in the marketing, but is doing the stuff. So we have in Luxembourg, and I witness that every day in my work, quite a good level, thanks to the LIST, the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology, which Sébastien Faye will represent today. We have, in fact, compared to our European countries, a good step beyond, further than the others. So please welcome Sébastien Faye with a big round of applause.
Thank you very much. So I'm not going to sing, okay? I will do. I mean, I could do my best. Well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for welcoming me here. So yeah, I'm not going to sing, definitely, but I will introduce a bit of, well, what we are doing at least, so the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology. I will just share a bit of, well, my own experience, let's say. So when I have been invited here, well, the first thing I have been asked to let's say, to describe, to talk about was artificial intelligence. And indeed, it's quite a big field, right? It's a huge keyword when we speak about AI. I had a look at all the, more or less, all the demos, all the projects that have been built here, and I was super impressed, honestly, by the diversity by the maturity, of all these technologies developed there for a wide range of different domains. So I will not teach you what is AI. Well, you already know what is AI. You're already using AI on a daily basis. I will just maybe go back a bit, in the history, let's say, to share, well, let's say my vision of AI. So for me, AI, it's basically about representing the human, right? It's about automating a bit what we could do on a daily basis. So it's not something new, okay? We already have developed different versions, let's say, of AI in the past. This all started centuries ago with Leonardo da Vinci, for instance, with, that developed a bit of robotics. And yeah, I mean, if you have a look at back in the history, you will quickly see many examples of, robots, of processes that have been automated somehow. And then, of course, if you have a recent look at what has been done with AI, you will see that now, these software solutions are competing. I mean, they are actually beating humans already. So voilà. No, the only difference I would say between what happens now and what was happening in the past is the fact that today we have all these digital technologies, we have communication, we have all these things that make this artificial intelligence quite accessible to a wide range of people, as I saw, today, basically. So, of course, there are many risks and challenges that are associated to that. You are all aware of it. I mean, you just need to open the TV to see all these, news about AI and the bad things that are associated with it. So, for instance, there is a clear increased need for computational resources, meaning that the models are more and more complicated to train. So, of course, this involves quite a lot of energy as well. So this is where we can talk about sustainability, about the need to, let's say, increase, in a sustainable way, the servers, the things that are storing data all around the world. Of course, we can talk about the human rights, about privacy preserving, let's say, mechanisms. And there are quite, there are already a few initiatives that are dealing with that, of course, since this is very much important. In particular, the European Union AI Act that is currently being finalized. And well, the message I have here is really that research and innovation, in my opinion, is key. Because all these domains, all these topics, the risks, the challenges, I believe they should be addressed by future researchers, right, by data scientists. So maybe there are some of these scientists in the room already, and the challenges, the topics that are behind that are quite exciting. And this is even more exciting, of course, if you have a look at all the applications, all the services that could be developed with AI. So, of course, there we are talking about text processing, we are talking about image processing, we are talking about a wide range of different options to develop AI. So today we live in a society really where artificial intelligence is almost everywhere. I did the exercise myself, as a very serious scientist, asking to ChatGPT what are the applications and domains that are covered by AI, and obviously, very obviously, there are quite a lot of things that are covered there, ranging from healthcare to transportation and so on. Yep. So that was just the introduction about AI, but now I think the most important, the most relevant for this event is probably to have a look at what are the opportunities for Luxembourg. We are in a small country, but very powerful country in terms of research. We have different research institutes, we have the university, we have different companies that are already contributing there to the deployment of AI, of new applications. And in my opinion, what is very relevant are digital twin technologies. So, how to say that simply? Let's say that, for me, AI, it's a big box, okay? This represents quite a lot of, let's say, applications, and this is certainly amazing, but when you have a look at what can be developed by AI, then quickly you will, find this keyword, digital twin, okay? So this is about, basically, again, copying, replicating a process. For instance, there I'm illustrating that through the mobility network. So it's not really a digital twin, we are more talking about simulation, but it's basically about creating a sandbox for instance, of the mobility system. So there you have a representation of what happens on average, let's say, in H0Z. So you have, pedestrians, you have cars, you have buses, you have more or less all the transportation infrastructure that is modeled, and we can use this as a black box to test before to test things before investing into a new infrastructure, into new mobility solutions. So this is a very simple and naive example of what could be, a digital twin, let's say. And since the country is not so big, we could even apply this principle nationwide. Okay, so this is something that we are working on which we are working on in Luxembourg, not only from LIST, but also the different institutes there. And there is clearly, a huge potential for that. So there I just would like to illustrate, a few other concrete applications that are connected to digital twin technologies. And again, these things are massively using AI, so we are still in this domain, let's say. So at the top left, you can see, for instance, an application that has been developed a few years ago, and that is currently being updated on a regular basis. So it's about monitoring the risk of supply chain failures, which was quite important back in COVID times, for instance. So there, the idea was to simulate, to try to predict a certain number of behaviors on the local, the Luxembourgish supply chain, and then to try to predict how to best react, in case we have an issue. At the top right, you can see another application which is about the anticipation of renewable energy production. So there, of course, this depends on the availability of sun. This also depends on let's say, the buildings, the way the buildings are exposed to the sun. So there we build this kind of realistic model to try to optimize the location of solar panels and then let's say maximize the production of energy. Then we have another example related to mobility. So this one is quite obvious. Personally, I'm facing traffic jams every day. So probably, we have different solutions to test and improve the situation. But one of the solutions, I believe, is related to communication. Okay, so we could, for instance, try to automate a bit more the way the mobility systems in Luxembourg are implemented, and then maybe try to better react when we have a sudden, for instance, increase in the traffic situation. But I will detail a bit more in my next slide. This is about optimizing the deployment of the future network systems, which is also quite important. Today, everything is connected. It's a clear need we have at the country level, and of course, we need to anticipate. We need to test, before investing into new and future infrastructures. So voilà. And this is another thing. It was a bit sudden, but please have a look at this. I will detail after. Yes, I'm sorry, I was a bit surprised by the video myself. So no, it was, so basically I started with artificial intelligence, then talking about digital twins, and I believe it's also important when we are doing research, whatever the area in which we are, to try to see, to foresee what could happen in 5-10 years time, and this was just, well, let's say, a vision, let's say, for this metaverse universe. So you probably already heard about the metaverse, right? It's quite, it's something that we have seen, for instance, through Facebook, through Meta, and there clearly there are quite a few applications, let's say, that could be useful for Luxembourg. And the final part of this presentation, so again, we started with AI, then digital twins applied to the country. I really would like to finish with, let's say, one sector that I particularly like, because this is part of my daily activities, the telecommunications sector. If we want to bring research into the reality, we need to, let's say, probably change a bit of the infrastructure. We need to deploy new computers. We need to deploy new things, okay? And what will be the glue for all that are basically communication systems. So this is what I will detail there a bit. And of course, I will talk about 5G, So, well, I don't know if you're familiar with this, probably, but it's also quite representative of what happened, in the last few years with, telecommunication infrastructure. So if you focused a bit on what has happened, on the mobile network industry, you will see these Gs, right? So a few years ago, I would say 40, 30, 50 years ago, 1G has been created. Okay, it was a revolution at that time, because before that, it was impossible to make a phone call while you were on the move. So this was a real revolution. Then with 2G, we had these text messages. So this was also a kind of revolution, right? With 3G, we had access to the baby internet, which was, also, well, let's say less a revolution, but still a kind of revolution in the way this has been deployed. Then you had 4G, and, well, you see the evolution there as well. And now we are talking about 5G and even 6G. So first, why do we have all these generations? Because this might be quite confusing for the general public, let's say. This sector is quite complex because this involves regulators, this involves service providers, this involves research stakeholders, and this is a worldwide effort. So there is a need to aggregate all the, let's say, the research and innovation activities, the commercialization activities, the standardization activities into these generations, right? So this was the case before, this will be the case in the future, but maybe we will end with 6G. Because with 6G, we are talking about a network that will be fully powered with AI. Okay, so we come back to AI now, and this might be the, let's say, the end of these generations. And why am I talking about that? So it's basically to introduce two things. So first, a set of examples. I will showcase these examples after. And then another thing on which we need to work at the moment, it's about the development of business cases. So if you have a look at all these technologies that are being deployed on, these telecommunication technologies that are being deployed on a daily basis, so the infrastructure is growing quite quickly, even in Luxembourg, there is still a lack of business cases. And I think this is also the responsibility of data scientists, of researchers, of all this innovation ecosystem, to try to imagine, what could be the business cases that will, let's say, benefit from these new communication infrastructures. So one example, this is one example before concluding the talk. It's about the deployment of 5G. This is quite an important challenge. So probably you already saw these transmitters deployed on top of houses, on top of public buildings, and so on. And of course, there is a huge concern about this kind of deployment. So we are talking about, this exposure to the electromagnetic field, the fact that this can be dangerous for health, and this is, I guess, also part of, what we can do as, what we could do as researchers to try to, let's say, to make the public aware of how these technologies are working and so on. So this is a bit what we have done with the project I will showcase. And yeah, so the electromagnetic spectrum, so all wireless communication technologies are emitting an electromagnetic, let's say, field, and of course we are all exposed to that. But with the project I'm going to introduce, so there the idea, and this is really similar to what has been said before, was to put around the table all the stakeholders working in the telecommunication ecosystems, regulators, public bodies, operators, of course, and then to try to find a single strategy, you know, for deploying 5G in the future. So we have developed several options there, and of course we have used AI, we have used, let's say, this kind of digital twin methodology to replicate the telecommunication infrastructure in Luxembourg. And then this was a way for us to test, again, different scenarios, different deployments before, let's say, then going and discuss with the regulators and the operators so that they can make maybe the best possible decisions based on our models. So there what I could say, and I'm trying to accelerate because I think the time is almost reached, we have developed a platform together with the Environment Agency to, let's say, try to, so it's a kind of observatory where you can all have a look at the transmitters, the 4G, the 5G installations that are deployed in Luxembourg, and where you can simulate, let's say, the exposure of all these installations. So this will be released in a few weeks' time. We are using a mix of real data collected from sensors and artificial data generated by our models, again, AI-based models. And I mean, the hope here is that this platform, so all this data will be accessible, will be a way, you know, to positively communicate about these technologies. And again, this is highly based on AI and, well, this kind of models as well, where you can basically easily interact, you know, with buildings, see exactly the propagation patterns and so on. So this is one of the projects on which we are working at the moment. It will end in April, and again, we'll publicly communicate about it, just to showcase a bit what we, let's say, what we are doing in this sector that is related to AI in general. And I will finish with a second example, which is actually quite nice, because I think everyone has a notion of it, right? It's about waste management. So today we live in a, so it's a totally different field. I'm cautious of that, but you will see the link with the telecommunications sector in a few seconds. So today we live in a world that generates quite a lot of waste, right? So every second we are talking about 70 tons of waste generated worldwide. This is huge. And we already know that this number will grow by 70% only in a few years' time. So there, of course, we have several solutions to improve the situation. We can, let's say, collect more efficiently the waste, but we can also use what we call smart waste management, meaning that we use AI, new communication technologies to improve the way waste is collected. And yeah, then of course this can provide an increased quality of service. This can help to define quite, I mean, to improve a bit the situation, you know. So this is what we have developed, for instance, with a company called Polygon that you might already know. And there what we did is to deploy sensors in waste bins, okay, so that we can detect in real time the filling level of these bins, and then send this data dynamically to Polygon, and so that they can decide about the best way to collect their waste. So this might, you know, look well, simple to implement, but we faced a lot of challenges related to communication, related to optimization, again, because this is not easy as well to transform, well, let's say, the way a company is behaving. So we have developed this solution that is, so it's a project funded by the FNR, by the way, and that will be released in a few months' time. And what we know already is that this solution, thanks to connectivity, thanks to IoT, thanks to all these things I have seen today, well, we know that the increase in the amount of waste will be improved by 50%, which is quite nice and big. Voilà. So I know this was a lot of information, okay, but this is a bit to showcase the, let's say, what we are doing in Luxembourg, what research can bring to a country like Luxembourg, and well, whatever the topic is concerned, I guess the main message I would like to pass today is that collaboration is key, okay? I mean, we can talk about data scientists, researchers, different stakeholders. I guess the main and the most important message is that everyone should communicate and try to find the best possible solutions, and I guess Luxembourg is the perfect place to do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sebastian. It's always wonderful. I've seen him speak a lot, and he really is Mr. 5G, 6G, whatever else the future holds, and they do wonderful research there at LIST. Just going back to John Chase, I'm sure many of you might want to follow him on various social media sites. He hasn't made it easy. Unless you're massively into space, and I'm quite sure many of you are, the handle you need to use is Oort Kuiper, as in the Oort cloud and Kuiper belt. So I'll just spell that for you. If you want to follow him on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube, it's OORTKUIPER. So Oort Kuiper, as in Oort belt Kuiper, Oort cloud Kuiper belt. And for LinkedIn, for those more established of us, he uses his actual name, John Chase. So now on to the actual awards ceremony. Just to give you a little recap about this competition and what's been going on over the last few days and few months as well. A recap of how the competition works. It's open to any students living or studying in Luxembourg aged between 11 and 21. So that's a really large range of ages there. They independently work on a research project. They submit a written report of their innovative ideas, which is assessed by the jury, and then they present their projects, as has already been alluded to by Sebastian, and they face the jury's questions, and that's been taking place over the last couple of days. Now, we've had a chance to relive those memories, and we're going to show you a short little video right now.
C'est vraiment un grand plaisir de vous accueillir tous à cette 52e édition du concours national Jonk Fuerscher.
Very nice to see you here today again.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
How do you feel? The presentation is just over now.
I feel relaxed. The presentation, I think, was good, and I hope that Sunday will be the same.
Just to enjoy it, just be proud of the work that you have done and be ready to share it with the jury, and to also get advice from the jury, because it's an amazing experience to have advice from such esteemed researchers.
At the beginning, I was a little scared, but the staff and everyone's just been so welcoming, so it really calmed me down. And by the second slide, I've gotten used to the environment, and yeah, it went well for my first time.
Well done to all of you already. And now the fun begins. So please welcome on stage Mr. Serge Quazzoni, who is the president of the jury, to formally open the awards ceremony. Actually, I've just realized you don't have a microphone, but I wanted to talk to you. I have a few questions just to put to you, first of all, before you begin speaking. I mean, first of all, just tell us a little bit about the criteria that you look for when you are adjudicating.
Yes, so a few years ago we have introduced a grid with different criteria following which we evaluate the different projects. So first of all, we evaluate on the paper form. So there we look how the project is presented, and then the scientific quality. So if we find back the different parts of scientific work. And then we also consider if there is experimental work that is done. And then we also evaluate how well the project is documented, the quality of the bibliography at the end. So these are the different criteria.
And we saw there in the video the jury is quite numerous. There's quite a few of you. How quickly do you come to a conclusion, a deliberation?
Yeah, so at the end of hard 2 days of listening to all the 50 projects, we took yesterday 2 hours. So it takes us between 1 and 2 hours.
That's not too bad, actually, for the amount of projects that you're seeing. And what was the level of the projects this year? What did you think of the projects that you have, that we've all seen behind these black screens this year?
So I think generally we see from year to year an increase of the level of the project. So we see young researchers coming back several times, and there we can really observe that steadily from year to year we have an increase of, a general increase of the level of the project.
So it's getting better year on year. And what about the age groups? How do you differentiate between, it's 11 to 21, so that's a huge difference in what they know scientifically.
Yeah, of course. So we cannot expect from an 11-year-old child to deliver the same level of a project than a 21-year-old child. So, yeah, so anyway, I think the work of the jury consists afterwards to allocate each of the projects to the different categories of prizes that are awarded. And so let's say the prizes which are whether the young have to represent Luxembourg and their project into a high-level other international contest, they will be attributed to, let's say, the best projects.
Well, thank you so much to you and to all of the jury members, because I know it's not an easy feat and it takes a lot of time. And so thank you for all of the time you put into it. And I know you have a few words to share.
So yes, so now we are at the end of the contest, and so we are ready to distribute the awards. So so maybe just one word. So now it's I think the 7th time that I'm part of the jury, and what amazes me most is that we see that the different challenges that we have to face today in the society, and the ministers also have addressed these different challenges that we have to face. And what I particularly find amazing in this contest is that when I look back now to all the subjects that have been that I have seen during the last years, so really most of the projects, they really face these challenges. So when we talk about climate change, health, and to find solutions about environmental problems. So yeah, so that's something that amazes me the most. So. So, yeah, I'm
so now,
ready now for the prize presentation.
Now it's time to So let's the show begin now. Everybody is waiting for the awards and the prizes. So we would like to welcome back on stage Carlo Hansen and Mr. Yuriko Bacchus. And we have also the honor to welcome Mr. Ralph Letsch for the prize Gernsback German trip, science German trip. The first prize is a science weekend in Germany. The winners will have the opportunity to visit the Technikmuseum Sinnheim and the Technikmuseum Speyer in Germany for 2 days in autumn, as well as taking part of different workshops. So Serge, let's announce the winners.
Okay, and the winners of this prize are Paul Fontaine, Fabien Frédérici, Jonathan Carr d'Espeux, Shamsi Bader, Gil Luca, Luca Reckinger, Angeliki Tsikadakis, Kenaya Kamik, Aurelia Wells, Nishita Vella und Kalin Ungurianu.
Just so many people, so we have to just find the right diploma. Cheese, it's okay. Well, it's okay. Anne is there. Just there.
Congratulations, everybody. And we're on to our next prize now. Thank you so much. Well done. Congratulations. And on to our next prize. So the next prize is in partnership with the Eurospace Centre in Belgium, and the FJSL have offered an astronaut camp for a week. So, Serge, who are the winners?
So the winner of the Eurospace Centre prize is Sofia Szymolutska for the project Black Hole.
it's extremely appropriate with a project entitled Black Hole that she gets to spend a week at the Belgian space camp there, the Eurospace Center, not so far away from here in Luxembourg. The next prize is, in fact, also in partnership with the Eurospace Center Belgium and FJSL. And the winners will come on board for a journey into the daily life of astronauts, the conquest of space, and a walk on the Moon and Mars, or at least an affiliation to that. Thank you very much, Sophia. Thank you. And Serge, the next winners are?
So the next winners are the two brothers, Adam and Maciej Gorac.
Done. Okay. So, picture done. Perfect. It's important that you have to shut. Now, the next prize is the opportunity to participate to the Luxembourg Science Festival in the Abbey of Nijmegen, where the winner will have the opportunity to showcase their achievement during a weekend. Call on stage Sandrine Amann. I have call on stage Sandrine Amann from the Musée National d'Histoire Naturelle, the Natuurmusee. Voilà. And now, Serge.
So this is a quite long list of winners. So we have Darina Diba, Tanishka Bendy, Adriana Zen, Nora Brown and Emma Brown, Gonzalo Rafael Fonseca, Loris Dur, Kevin Freitas, Sven Weirich, Felix Petisch, Miguel Cerquera, Joey Dalizzotti, Bob Dalizzotti, Leo Dalizzotti, Xing Zhong, Lira Wells, Zana Bandari, Lira Wells, Avan Dia, Belmin Klika, Noémie Rappen, Aymen Esmer, Dennis Trier et Arthur Julien.
Over there.
Yeah. And you need to stand in the middle more for the photographer.
Just there. Voila. I have just a minute. I have to organize it a bit. Everybody's. Yeah. Ja, aber. The poor photographer over there, which is waiting for the shot since 5 minutes. So, cheese, everyone. So, congratulations for the large group there. Merci. So the next prize is made possible thanks to the Science Teens Lab, and I'm calling on stage Elizabeth John. So, it will be, in fact, the opportunity for our young scientists to enjoy a summer workshop on sustainability, which is really important and a topic that some of you really tackle a lot during these 2 days. Climate change and renewable energies that will be take place in between 10 and 18 of July. So, Serge, please.
So, for the invention of zip tip, Theodor Stanica and Gaspar Arvae.
Congratulations to Theodor and Gaspar there for the zip tip, which I did look at, and now I know how it works, and I'm sure many of you do as well. For the next prize, please welcome on stage Mr. Georges Thielen. Now, it gets very exciting from here on in. The winner of this prize will be able to participate in the International Swiss Talent Forum, which takes place over 4 days and revolves around a topical global issue. And the topic in 2022 is called Building a New Resilient Society. So, Serge, who's the winner?
So, for his project on biodiesels, David Dalizzotti.
Congratulations to David there. And thank you also, Mr. Thielen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. Now, the next group of awards is made possible by ANAFOR, which manages European education and youth projects. And we'd like to welcome on stage a very important lady in this event. It is, of course, Susanna Eng, who is the director of FGSL. And Humanities here of Court to join us in awarding the prizes under the Mobiscience scheme. So first up is a trip to Brussels to take part in the huge I Love Sciences Festival, where the program includes everything from experiments, lab visits, activities, conferences, workshops, and exhibitions. There are interactive stands from drones to augmented reality, all the way to space, robots, environmental experiments. It's huge. So Serge, who has the opportunity to go to Brussels?
So for their original idea for recycling face masks, Rebecca Kraniak, Margherita Cardini, and Giulia Viaggi.
Congratulations to Rebecca, Margarita, and Julia there, and I hope you enjoy your trip to Brussels. Now, the next destination is Fez in Morocco to take part in the Printemps des Sciences Expo Science Festival there. This event includes exchange with national young scientists, experiments, activities, roundtables, visits of the city, often referred to as the country's capital city, cultural capital city, that is. So, who's off to Fez?
So for her project dealing with venom of scorpions, Sophia El Hafidi.
Cheese. And it's done. Our next winner will also take part in Moby Science, but this time in the Expo Science Regional in Toulouse, in France, which bring together people from different countries to present their project in science, technology, and environmental education. The laureate will have the possibility to visit the Cité de l'Espace and take part in exciting intercultural activities. So, Serge? Yeah?
So, yeah, this.
In Fez? Ah, you are okay.
Yes.
See what's
The second one.
Okay, so the next candidate to go to Morocco is Sherin El Hafidi. So the next winner for Moby Science Morocco is Alina Litke. And we have another winner to go to Moby Science Morocco, Rodion Tsaikikov.
will have a special word for Rodion. Don't forget me. You have to visit me to see iSpace. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So he will certainly send his rocket to make a cartography of Fès. That would be fantastic. So now we're coming for the Moby Science in Toulouse, right? Yes. Don't tell me it's Fès again. Huh? Okay. Now we go for Toulouse. So I've announced it already, so let's go and announce it, Serge.
So to Moby Science France in Toulouse, Danil Mourziakiev. So we have another candidate going to Moby Science France. It's Arnit Dai for his project on inventing glasses for impaired persons. Two other candidates for Moby Science France. It's Alexandra Doroshenko and Alexander Lebedev.
We good? So, thank you, Susanna. Just a few words. I believe Susanna will really sleep well tonight because she dedicated so much time and she had a workshop early in the morning. When we finished, it was really, yeah. So, yeah. We forgot again, yeah. Okay. Okay. It's okay. I have to revert back, sorry. So I have to go back to Moby Science Belgium, right? Okay. So Serge, Moby Science Belgium. Who did we forget?
So for a chemistry app reacted, Batul Badur.
It's good. Thank you. So we are next. It's okay. Yes. You feel good, Carlo? Okay. Tout va bien. Okay. So the next award, I'm a little bit jealous for the next award. Can I go, Carlo? Just my name. Which in, I can. It's in Denmark. Copenhagen. The beer. Come on. No? Yeah. We still have to drink this Guinness. Yeah, okay. So the next award is a trip in Denmark to take part in the Expo Science Denmark at the end of April. It's an exhibition of science project, workshop, and a lot of scientific and cultural activities in the with the national and international teams involved. Serge, who is the lucky one who is going to Denmark? So I may join him.
So we have two projects going to Denmark. It's Sarah Mackel for working on brain tumors. Christopher Gargiulo, Thomas Litt for the future of energy. And we have a second winner going to Denmark, Christopher Gargiolo and Thomas Litt for the project The Future of Energy.
Congratulations to all of those winners. Now, our next destination for science, of course, for science, not just for the trip itself, is perhaps close to your heart. It's Italy, in fact.
Yes.
And I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but it's the I Giovanni e le Scienze 2024 prize. Is that okay? Where there's huge amounts of science workshops, exhibitions, culture activities, etc., etc. So who's going to Italy?
So we have two groups. First, we have Selena Al-Hafidi. And we have Dylan Ramsurun and Alina Schweitzer.
He's going to take one more. Wonderful. Thank you, and congratulations to all of you three winners. Thank you very much. Now, the next prize, well, you could almost guess the destination now. It's almost a travel show, but not quite. The next winners will participate in the Tunisian iFest 2024 Festival of Science, which brings together people from different countries, of course, to present their projects in science, technology, and environmental education. Serge.
And the winner of this prize is Paula den Otter and Arvidas Andersen and Alexandra Zen.
There's so many interesting topics. I'm reading that one about back pain, and I've seen a graph of how we all change when we look at our mobile phones. It makes me even want to stand straighter looking at the title of that one. Now, on to our next winners, and they are going to travel to Porto, in Portugal, of course, to take part in an Expo Science Festival, which again is exchange with national young scientists, experiments, etc., etc. So, Porto, Portugal, who's going there?
We have three projects going to Portugal. First one is Kina Bandari for her work on hydroponic farming. And second winner is Avanti Sharma for her software verifying students' identities. And the third winner is Ekaterina Karagiorgiadi for her project on breast cancer.
Thank you very much. So, before continuing further with the award ceremony, we will welcome somebody back, and I believe he is certainly answering his phone because Lisa gave his Instagram, so he has to follow back everyone. So he doubled certainly the number of followers in the last 10-15 minutes. So welcome on stage, John Chase.
Wow. Can I just say, another round of applause to all of you guys and everyone who's been on stage, because you are all absolutely fantastic. So I guess it's that part of the day where I come back to entertain you. I've got another rap, and this is called the STEM rap. It's all about science, technology, engineering, and maths. Now, depending on where you go, not everyone will know what you mean if you say STEM. And depending on the country, because their words are actually in a different language and spelled differently. But I asked, what do you know about STEM? And I'm going to ask you that question, but I need your help. And I do need your help, but I need all of your help. So everyone over here, you're going to be science. Don't be nervous, it's fine. You guys, you're going to be engineering. Yay! And then everyone's going to be technology, and this is how it goes. I say, what you know about STEM, mathematics, and then you guys go, science. And you guys go, engineering. And then everyone goes, technology! You think you can do that? Okay, let's give it a go. Let's see if you're with it. What you know about STEM, mathematics, and... That was amazing. I'll give you like 10 out of 10 for effort and about 5 out of 10 for timing. But it's okay, because we're going to get that nailed. So this is the STEM rap, and it basically asks, what do you want to do when you get older?
So guys, what would you like to be when you grow up? Yes, Zubair, what would you like to be?
I think I like to be a doctor, miss.
All right.
Need a lot of patience for that.
And you, Lucia?
Miss, I think I want to be a politician.
Politician, very good. Okaita?
Me? I want to be a number-loving scientist. Better recognize.
Please don't forget your lines. Your word. When I was younger, I wanted to be a fireman. But now I'm older, I don't know where that fire went. Then I thought I could talk for the government, carry out my work for society's benefit. Now that I'm not a kid, my choice is important. A real opportunity to broaden my options. What could I be if I want to make a difference? Maybe an engineer, how about science? Well, I did it for my GCSEs. It never seemed to be something I'd achieve easily, but time and effort can boost the abilities. I guess it depends on how much that it means to me. I'm pleased to see these new medications. I would have been a doctor if I only had the patience. They make observations and build explanations and estimations based on known information. So what you know about STEM, mathematics, and... If you take a look back through JJ, wait a minute, mate, wait a minute, John, wait, that was all right. I'll give you like 4 out of 10. I'll give you guys like 5 out of 10. That was all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and try it again, but this time, on time and nice and loud. Are you with me?
All right, how about this?
Let's rewind. They make observations and build explanations or estimations based on known information. So what you know about STEM, mathematics and... If you take a look back through history, science and maths was formed to solve mysteries. What you know about STEM, mathematics and... Laying foundations on a firm grounding and find new ways to adapt the surroundings. That's SET. Don't forget mathematics, putting numbers on the world, helping us to understand it. That's 1 + 1 to some the basis of counting. Multiplication, division and subtracting. Maths is like a weapon that can help us understand how to spend our money better or measure a plot of land. It profited the taxman who kept it close at hand, while astronomers made calendars that gave us yearly plans. Maths is a study that can help us to relate different quantities, structures, spaces and change. Measuring and calculating motions and shapes to reveal the hidden patterns that the universe makes. But the studying the shapes of Pythagoras' theorem or developing the decimals as powers of 10 wasn't there in the beginning, but we'll stick it on the end. With the maths now, the SET is called STEM. What you know about STEM, mathematics and... If you take a look back through history, science and maths was formed to solve mysteries. What you know about STEM, mathematics and... Laying foundations on a firm grounding and find new ways to adapt the surroundings. So look around for a slice of the sciences. See them everywhere, there's a world of appliances. New devices and enticing images. Healthcare, pharmacies and all types of physicists. Making gadgets and telecommunications and new ways to copy and store information. Exploring the universe to learn how it functions. Physics of the particles, the matter's in motion. Even the notion of realistic graphics requires that we have an understanding of the physics. Then a bit of chemistry is just as fantastic, because CDs and consoles are molded from plastics. Many roles make the most of a chemist. Just check your deodorant or any cosmetics. The complicated chemicals and stuff they created has given us materials we never have expected. So what you know about STEM, mathematics and... If you take a look back through history, science and maths was formed to solve mysteries. What you know about STEM, mathematics and... Laying foundations on a firm grounding and find new ways to adapt the surroundings. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, John. Amazing. So something new was taking place this year. In fact, we had this competition in partnership with RTL. And we had the Public Choice Award. So I'm calling on stage Frédéric Mousset from RTL. So this audience award, in fact, was we had a movie. That's right. We had the audience selecting 2 young scientists among all the laureates that we have today, and I believe we have a movie that will recap all this. So let's have a look. So, and thank you. So now let's see what the audience of RTL selected as the 2 laureates for the 2 winners for this this prize. And I'm calling on stage Sherin El Afidi. More. And Kina Bandari. Hi, everyone.
contest as well. I'll see you next week. Now we want to welcome on stage Madame Joëlle Welfring, Minister of Environment, Climate and Sustainable Development, whose support makes it possible for our young scientists to take part, as already mentioned, in the fantastic Conference of the Parties, a climate conference, which is held in Dubai November this year. So this is very exciting. Serge, who gets the opportunity to visit Dubai this autumn, when we all need a bit of warmth?
So we have 2 projects. The first is Ilona Dose for investigating the effect of sulfur dioxide on fructicose lichens in Luxembourg. And the second winner is David Dellizzotti for his project on biodiesels.
So the next prize is special because it's Paul Wirth. So I'm representing Paul Wirth because my colleague is not there today. So Paul Wirth is in fact supporting the FGCL since 5 years by sending a student to the Taiwan International Science Forum. And I'm again jealous. I'm between Denmark and Taiwan. I went to Taiwan already, so it's okay. It's a nice area. So I'm jealous again. Huh? Carlos, we have to organize something for the jury. They have to coach and to mentor all the students during the travel. So this fair will regroup, in fact, 250 domestic finalists and 40 overseas students from 20 different nations. And I'm waiting for Serge to...
So we have 2 winners. Yeah. The first one is Steve Mendeliev for his project on mathematics. Winner is Krešimir Hizik for his project on the local positioning system.
It's my picture now.
You're a jury, you're Paul Wirth, and you're presenting.
I'm everywhere. I'm a spy. So, let's now have a glimpse into the next prize, the London International Youth Science Forum. And there should be a movie over there.
The London International Youth Science Forum, LIYSF. LIYSF is a 2-week residential student event held annually, which attracts 500 of the world's leading young scientists aged 16 to 21 years old from more than 70 participating countries from all around the world.
I would have been killed for an opportunity like this, where I could be with young people my age who also had a passion for science when I was that age.
LIYSF attracts the highest caliber of international speakers, including Nobel laureates, leading scientists, dignitaries, and industry pioneers whom lecture throughout.
The privilege that we have to be here, to go into world-class labs and facilities and to hear from lecturers from all over the world, it's just amazing.
Our mission is to give young people from all nations a deeper insight into science for the benefit of all mankind, whilst enabling our students to develop lasting international friendships. This is LIYSF. Join us in moving science forward with the thinkers of the future.
And for this prize, I'm welcome on stage Mr. Richard Myhill, the director of this famous youth Foundation of the Youth London International Youth Science Forum. The prize is made possible thanks to the Foundation Alphonse Weiger. And in fact, it will be a 2-week science program hosted in the Imperial College. And we will have students all over the world, as you mentioned. I'm also jealous there. I would like to go there as well. Yeah, I will join. So they will be able to visit university and research facilities. So Serge, the lucky one?
So we have two. The first one for his project on robot control simulation, Bartolomei Novak. The second one for making use of machine learning in breast cancer research, Federica Maestri.
Leiden. We have UCIS, who's the European Union Contest for Young Scientists, hosted in Leiden. And, well, I have Leiden and Brussels, so I'm not quite sure which it is this year. I'm sure somebody will tell me. UCIS, it brings together national winners from 34 member states of the EU and international teams from Egypt to Norway, Canada, South Korea, and that's just naming a few of them. The winners will represent Luxembourg at European level. So, who's off to either Leiden or Brussels? Not quite sure which.
So we have 3 winners going to UCIS. First is Emma Mules for her project on medical radiation and brain cancer. And we have Amelia Hatch for her project investigating antiseptic properties of manuka honey. And the third winner is Ilona Dawes for her project on sulfur dioxide on fructicose lichens in Luxembourg.
Congratulations to all of these scientists representing Luxembourg at EU level. We have a little video now from Dublin, UCIS in Dublin. Let's take a look.
Welcome to the European Union Competition for Young Scientists 2018, proudly being hosted in here in Dublin. 100,000 welcomes to all of you who've travelled from all over Europe and as far away as the USA to be here today.
My project is about family verbal conflict.
That is so clever.
It's amazing. It's just a wonderful experience to meet all those different people from across Europe and across the world.
There are really, really brilliant scientists here, and I was really very happy to meet them all.
Welcome dinner yesterday. It was probably the most amazing part of it for now.
This is absolutely my favourite event of the year. I personally believe the biggest prizes are for those who enjoy and make the most of the whole experience and those who take home the best memories.
Well, my project is based on plants and how they affect bacteria and make them as relevant as possible to humanity.
I'm extremely happy to be a judge for the UCs already for a fourth year, and I see that from year to year they're becoming more and more bright, more and more passionate about what they're doing. There are more and more girls participating into the contest, and this is very important because science needs all its talent, and talent does not have gender.
I get the distinct impression that I am in the presence of greatness and some of the greatest minds that Europe has to offer right now.
You can kind of see it's not hard for them to actually go close to it, but to go close to the lava itself.
There's not many places where you get to be around such bright minds. Like, I live in a little country village, so I can't really discuss all this with people, but when you're here with hundreds of other kids that are like-minded, it's great to just discuss with them.
Scientific advancement is of enormous importance, not only for the contemporary world, but for future generations who will benefit from the work of dedicated and gifted scientists.
Good afternoon, dear young scientists. I would like to start by thanking Ireland for its warm welcome and for hosting this event at the prestigious Dublin Castle.
You get this urge, I want to do something, and you go and you make things, you do experiments.
Do not go where the path may lead. Go where there is no path and leave a trail. Clearly, you've taken this advice to heart. You've already left trails behind you.
Let's hope. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. There we. Well. We have a couple of years to get the science in action so that we can really promote Luxembourg at UCIS 2025. What a wonderful opportunity. There we go. That's a call out for action, I think. Well, that's fantastic. So UCIS here in Luxembourg 2025. So all those science minds get in action now for the projects you want to come up with in a couple of years' time. And good luck to all of those promoting Luxembourg as they go to UCIS this year in Leiden or Brussels. I'm not quite sure which one. I did notice Brussels. I did notice in that video of Dublin, it didn't rain on their cultural tour around Dublin. That was really marvelous. They could sit in the open deck top of the double-decker bus and there was no rain. That was superb. Now, for the next section, please welcome on stage Mr. Patrick Mart. We're moving from the EU to another continent. It's not Dubai this time, the other side of the world. Patrick Mart has sponsored the next prize, which is the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair, the world's biggest pre-university science fair, hosted in Dallas. So each year, about 1,800 high school students from 75 countries participate in this competition for about $4 million worth of prize money in total, that is, across all of those students. Again, there's superb activities, workshops, and so who will represent Luxembourg in Dallas?
So for his project on virtual reality, Maxime Buc. And the second winner going to USA is Moritz Rohner for his project on Druckluftraketen.
And I believe we have a video to show what we can expect.
Welcome to the 69th Annual Intel International Science and Engineering Fair here in Pittsburgh. It's time to meet the real stars here tonight, you guys. It's time for the 2018 Intel ISA International Shoutout!
The nearly 1,800 finalists, who are from 81 countries, are our future innovators, scientists, and engineers. They are creative, they have enormous energy and passion because they want to solve the world's most intractable problems.
Let's hear it for DJ Robbie Drive! Our keynote speaker, Dr. Genevieve Bell.
Really good ideas, the really big ones, you never do them by yourself. It's always a room full of people with different ideas, arguing and collaborating and sharing.
My hope for these young people is that they recognize that not only are they our future, but their projects are projects that literally can save the world. We continue to see every single year the brightest minds on this planet that are really pushing the boundaries. Future scientists, future makers, future Nobel laureates are probably here today.
Winners of the $50,000 Intel Foundation Young Scientist Award. And now, the winner of the $75,000 Gordon E. Moore Award.
Nice work. I was really impressed by these works, then you really deserve it. The last but not least final award tonight is made possible by the Foundation Maternelle, foundation which fosters social entrepreneurship all over the world. I would like to welcome Mr. Lionel Eli Maman on stage. The lucky winner will be able to take part in an international summer science institute organized by the Davidson Institute of Science Education in Israel, and with 80 scientists that will come together, work in laboratory, present their work to their peers, but also having some mentoring from experts, if I understood well. That's a nice prize. Serge?
So for a project investigating the use of lysergic acid, also called LSD, for medical use against anxiety, Petra Strager.
Don't bring LSD to Israel. Huh? It's, they will not really like it too much. So we would like to go. Thank you. I believe we have now Susanna who will come. Thank you very much, Madame Yuriko, Carlo. We would like to congratulate all the participating projects. It has been really a nice 2 and 3 days, in fact, because we have 3 days, and believe me, all the volunteers work way before you went on stage. So, and we would like also the sponsors, without who it will not be possible to have such a great national contest, and have also the prize that we have there. Yeah, I think so.
I can't stand too close, or else you turn a little bit yellow. I saw there's a little bit of yellow. This is
my skin is yellow.
Yeah. I'm a bit like a nebulous cloud, and I just give off little bits of yellow onto your suit. But of course, we're nearly there. We're nearly at the end. Thank you so much for your patience and for sitting here for more than 2 hours. But to close, please welcome back on stage Susanna Ng, who is going to give us a final few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, ministers, your excellencies, dear young scientists, dear supporters of young scientists. So I'm pleased to stand here after 2 days of competitions. It was amazing to be all together, amazing project. Yeah, and I also have to admit that I'm a little bit sad because if I'm standing here and saying my speech, this is because this is the end of this exciting event. So, from this day, the key word is altruism. Altruism. I've seen through the project Eyes Glasses to help blind people. I've seen a lot of different projects for climate change. I've seen devices to detect breast cancers. I've seen also cure against anxiety, a lot of reflection that could really improve the world we live in. And of course, because this is not just about invention and discoveries, I've seen also something powerful. I've seen collaboration, working together, facing complex problems together. And I'm also happy because I've seen as many young girls as young boys. It is a quite positive indication that we are offering an equal opportunity to contribute to the progress. At the Fondation Jeune Scientifique Luxembourg, we believe that science is for everyone, regardless of age, gender, nationality, background, level, domain of predilection. Science is a tool for building bridges, fostering understanding, promoting peace. And actually, we have a perfect example with us this afternoon. I pay tribute, ministers, for your presence amongst us today. This is a testament of collaboration, not only among political parties, but as mentioned before, it reflects the trust and collaborations, and also the surge of multidisciplinary needs. So thank you for your support and encouraging our young participants, and especially youngers. So, dear young scientists, I just want to remember you that science is not just about getting the right answer. It is also about asking the right questions and be willing to explore the unknown. So don't be discouraged by failure. Every experiment, every result, every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. And I want you to believe in a dream, even if it seems impossible at that time. Know that your hard work will pay off. And also know that we will support you in this journey. You have the whole FJSL team, you have jury members, peers, partners. So, congratulations to all of you for your hard work and your effort. Please, big applause. Stay with me. I know you want me to finish my speech and have a drink. Me too. So now, to all supporters of young scientists, to my team, Mrs. Daniela Arcone, our project coordinator, to Mr. Edouard Rozeski, our in charge of communication and PR, to Mrs. Luisa Andrade, our executive assistant, and to Ms. Hannah Simasho, our host podcast. Thank you so much for your work, and since the organization constantly growing since the past few years, thank you so much. Thank you to the board member of the FJSL. You are like family members, always available for good advice and help me to take the right decision for the sake of our young Fuerscher. So especially our president, Mr. Carlo Hansen, thank you. You are the heart of the foundation. To the Ministry of National Education, Children and Youth, to the Luxembourg National Research Fund, represented here by Mike Shields, I warmly thank you. Of course, to our private sponsors and partners who made possible each awards of the National Jonk Fuerscher Contest. Thank you. Thank you. Let's now put a spotlight to all people working behind the scenes. First, of course, our jury members who analyze each project in order to appropriate the right prize to all the participants. My heartfelt thanks for your time, effort, expertise, and I'm so grateful to have such a distinguished panel of judges. So a special recognition goes to Mr. Serge Quazzotti and to all jury members. Last but not least, our warm thanks to the artist, John Chase, and to the person. And to the person in the back office, the whole focus team, Unison, SNJ, Joël Mangen, who was literally not given the choice to come and work with us. To all the volunteers, they are Jonk Fuerscher alumni, family, friends, and especially those who were also forced to come and help us during this weekend. This event would not have been accomplishable without every single one of you. So big merci. And I really hope to see all of you at our next International Expo Sciences Luxembourg on October 1st at Le Théâtre de la Ville de Luxembourg. Before the drink, almost done. I invite all the superstars, so all the young Fuerscher, to come on stage for a family picture.